learning movement all about. So it is an ongoing process of selecting a few local volunteers, men and women, equal number. Well, I say equal number, but what we have experienced over the past few years, 13 years, is that we have to make special efforts to see that men also come. It is the women who are leading the community learning movement in the rural areas, especially. Slums is no different story in Bijapur. Okay, so we select them, but while we select them that from each village, two men and two women are selected. Young men and women who have a couple of children, and so that the husbands can safely send them for this 2 days, 3 days training outside their village. And they have established their faith in each other, trust in each other. So that kind of a thing. And then the first meeting takes place for 1 day, explaining them what this is all about, finding out the issues that are important to them, the problems they are facing in their day-to-day life, and would they like to do something about it with the help of others by organizing the local community. Are they willing to spare their time? We will be with you, but would you be willing to take up this issue in your own village while you do your own work? Whatever work you are involved in, you don't have to leave that, but once in 3 months, 3 days, actually it works out to be 2 days, because first day they arrive at 12 o'clock and the third day they leave at after lunch. So in the real sense, 2 days they will have to spare, and in between those things they have to practice in the village. They have to share it with the local community they are part of and see that some action. He said, "Madutta kali kaliyutta madu." So
ಆಮೇಲೆ 1900 ವಾಸಿ ಆಗಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಕುಟುಂಬಕ್ಕೆ ಸುಮಾರು 5 ಎಕರೆ.
3 days, and they have to chalk out a plan. What will they do in the next 3 months in their village? So in the villages it is 1.5.
So ಅದರ ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆ ನಿನಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು?
Well, how do we select this area? We select this area because some local organization, voluntary organization, which has not become NGO yet, is working systematically with a right-based approach, and politics is not averse to them. They are not averse to politics. No, that is the precondition, and then we share with them. So with them, thought of was that this grassroots advocacy bring to a and bring about a change in a village or in a panchayat, where you go up level, if not at the district level. So we said 25 villages of a taluk are selected, 4 persons from these 25 villages, so 100 people are welcomed for this. They are interviewed. We have certain criteria on basis of which they are interviewed, and so they are brought in, and then they are made to share a dream of what they would like to see in their villages in the next 5 years, and their commitment is sought that, well, yes, we will do whatever is possible for us within our capacity to organize and share with community whatever we learn here, and we will try to practice it. We assured them that success is not what is important. What is important is that you try. And remarkably, they mostly succeed. They have experienced success more often than not. What are the issues that we discuss, and how do we go about discussing these issues? See, I need to share with you about a couple of the modules that are undertaken under community learning movement. The first one is I share with the group that God has sent me here, and He's going to. He has told me that ನಾನು 3 ವರ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ. Any 3 things you ask and you will be given. And I assure you that God personally has me here. But the God has put a condition also that you cannot make individual demands. You need to make community demand. So what are the 3 things your community needs? So subsequently we raised it to 5. So the 5 things you want for your village. We had in the earlier stages, even now sometimes, it is so saddening to see God is giving something, and anything that you want to ask, you can ask. And you know what they ask? This experience I had when I was conducting a training of the newly elected women panchayat members. 50 of them. It was organized by FEVOD, which was very active at that time. So I asked them that, now you have become the leaders of the village, in the panchayat you are elected. So what are all the things you would do? And what did they say? The same thing is said by the people in CLM when they come. They say, raste martivri, roads, gutter martivi. Many times they begin with gutters. Gutter martivri, raste martivi, shauchalaya, neeru, aspatre. So that is the dream. So we have succeeded in brainwashing the people of our country in saying that you don't have any rights, you don't have to ask for any rights you never realize, out of question, you don't demand, because it cannot, even God cannot give. So what you do is you ask for
మరియు మన అనంతపూర్లో పరిస్థితులు ఒకే విధంగా ఉండడం వలన
come to mean infrastructural development. So my very simple, no roads, and there is enough money for it. It can be done, and I am very happy that major problems, as I perceive them, don't exist in your village. They say, what do you mean? So I tell them that I thought poverty is a problem. I thought unemployment is a problem. I thought you lack good education. I thought health is a problem. These are the problems I thought. Don't seem to have any. Agricultural production is going down. Water has become scarce. It is polluted and it is scarce. Water table is going. These I thought were the main important. Those problems don't exist. Only road, gutters. No. ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅದಾವ್ರಿ ಸರ್, ಮತ್ತು ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿಲ್ಲ. So God has sent me to ask you what you want, and you are coming forth with these petty things. So it's not your fault. I assured them that it's not your fault. So that is how it begins. Okay, I said, then you go back and come forth what you want. And then they come forth. And also we discussed about what you want is a dispensary in the village. You don't want health. You want dispensary because you have taken it for granted that you will fall ill. With all the kind of food and water we get and the dirty atmosphere, we are going to fall ill. So that is taken for granted. God can't do anything about it. So what we want is a dispensary where we will get good cheap medicines or even free of charge. So that whole thing changes over a period of time. And in the first module, the participants, they were all rural people. 50% of them were Lamanis. The rest were Dalits, and everybody was small farmer, marginal farmers rather, and landless laborers. They were given the task of going back to the village and finding out what are the resources they have that are available for them to develop, natural resources. That was it, just to map the resources that are available for them in the village. And the second module began, and it begins with what they have done in the village. Now here they were expected to bring back the study that they have done about the natural resources that are available. And here is this Lamani woman coming and saying that everybody was saying that first let her speak. And what she narrated was that she recognized that the Lamanis were given 2 acres of Gauthan land for establishing the houses of the Lamanis some 20 years ago, and that was being cultivated now by the rich farmers in the nearby village. This was what was expected, that well, she just narrates this story, this fact. But what she did was, when she realized that their land is being cultivated by the rich farmers, she went to the Tahsildar office, who didn't want to take a look into the issue. She went to the Deputy Commissioner's office, and believe it or not, in the 3 months period that was there between the 2 modules, the land was handed over to the Lamanis, whom really it belonged. And by the second module, they start realizing that there are rights. Vasavi mentioned that over a period of time, especially in the first segment of UPA, what we saw was the National Rural Employment Guarantee Act coming into being in 2005. A Right to Information Act also came. They go together extremely well. And suddenly villagers realized that, well, villagers also thought that India is a poor country and the government doesn't have money. But they suddenly realized that earlier the panchayats, before 2005, the panchayats were getting 5 to 10 lakhs per annum. And now what we saw was the average funds that were flowing into the Gram Panchayat was more than 1 crore. So they said, where is this money coming from? So, but then, how do we use this money? Where this money has, whether the money really has come. So, combining NREGA with Right to Information Act immediately is brought in the second module, and they go back and start demanding it. From Belgaum district, my own district, in Belgaum Taluk there is a Gram Panchayat village called Bambarga, and we had just completed the second module where we told them about the different human rights, especially the ESC rights, and particularly about Employment Guarantee Act, right to food and right to information. How we can implement these laws to get our rights realized. That was the idea. It was explained to them. They would fill forms, form number 6, what it is, this, that and the other. And what happens? What happens is they file their application for demanding work, and the panchayat president and secretary say, oh, there is no work here. All development works have been undertaken in our panchayat, so there is no work to be given. I mean, we have not told them that, well, what you need to do if they do this. I mean, what we have told them at this stage, at the second module, is that, well, you approach the higher authorities, that the EC, the executive officer of the Taluka Panchayat. If he doesn't fulfill the obligations, then you go to the Jilla Panchayat and approach the CEO. That is how it has been done. But what these people do is, what these women do is, 60 of these laborers who have demanded work go in front of the president's house, president's residence, presidents of the Gram Panchayat, and say that, well, namke kelsa siglebe. This fellow is hiding inside the house. So the wife comes in and he says, what is this? As though my husband has borrowed money from you, you come and sit in front of my house, you go to the office. They said, we have been visiting the Gram Panchayat office last 1 month. He is never to be seen in the office. So we have come to the house now because the president is here. So he is available here. So he has to provide this work. There is this law. They explain to her. And you know what she says? She says, she standing before her, she looks inside the house and accuses her husband that, well, you said that once you become president, there will be enough money coming in and you will get all the honor this, that and the other, and look what has happened. These women come and sit there and shout slogans, and they are insulting us, insulting you and whole of our family. So give them whatever they are demanding. Is there an act like this? He said, yeah, it is there. Then come, go to the office and see that the work is given. 3 months later, they come back and say that they got a tank works sanction and they start working. This is the second story. So it has nothing to do with we telling them that, well, what strategy to be used. I never thought that, it never occurred to my mind that women can go and sit in front of the president's office and create this kind of a dynamics there. Now, Bambarga Gram Panchayat is one of such 300 panchayats in Karnataka. I am saying this on the basis of the union that has been created, the state level union called GRAPUS that has come into being, which has been given by the Karnataka government 300 Gram Panchayat for experimenting with our kind of ideas. Believe me, the Department of Panchayat Raj and Rural Development has given 300 panchayats by government notification that in 300 Gram Panchayats you implement the scheme as per your wishes. Your meaning the union, the local union. So this is happening in 300 Gram Panchayats in Karnataka because they have realized what it is. The second thing is about the system that we are living in. So we talk about democracy. We don't talk so much about the system. We even when now we have gone a little ahead. I'll come to that a little later. There are three things. One I already mentioned, that what unites the different sections of marginalized among the poorer communities as Dalits and women and tribals and scheduled castes and the workers and poor farmers, is that they all belong to one class, and that is working class. This class is dealt with, and we say that, well, today capital is ruling over labor. So what we need to do is so this is a fight of labor against capital. So that fight is made clear of. Then we also deal with gender and caste, because most of the rural people who come for this particular thing belong to working class in the villages I am talking about, and mostly they belong to either Dalits or tribals or minorities. Very few of them would be knowing reading and writing skills, but they are very committed and all that. So gender and caste also is discussed in the way that they would appreciate. So that is done. Religion, spirituality, secularism and communalism also is discussed there. And as I said already, human rights is talked about, especially the economic, social and cultural rights, and the implementation of getting things done by we acting on it, and how to go about organizing, mobilizing and different kind of struggles. And now earlier I was going to each of these areas in dozen places that we conducted CLM with local volunteers, these 100 I talked to you about. I was going everywhere and I was doing it. But then the idea came that we need to spread this movement far and wide, and for that we need resource persons. So my friend Harita is here of Human and Institutional Development Forum. So he came to see in Haveri, in Ranebennur. I was conducting this. There were these 130 people. That young fellow, our Shishya, he said, no, see, if you can do it with 100 people, you do it with 130 people. So Harita said, this is beyond me, I cannot imagine 130 people coming, reporting and learning things and making plans and going back and working on it. So he said, in the evening he asked me, how many years you are going to do this? I said, till I can do it, I am going to do it. He said, no, I mean, you need to do it, of course. But what I am saying is that, well, in Karnataka, only one person doing this. it has such a potential. So we started creating last 3 years now. We have a 1 year process called community learning movement, resource persons building exercise we have started.